This is Pastor Unpacked. Real talk, real faith, real growth. Let's break down life with Jesus. Come on, church, let's unpack it.
Is it hard to follow a pastor younger than you? Spiritual maturity is shown in your ability to receive truth from anyone. Hello again, I'm Pastor Bob McCabe from Wadsworth Church of Nazarene. With me is Keith Ramsier, and he's a member of the church. And together I'm giving the pastor perspective, and he's giving the layman perspective. And so this question he's got to answer more than me. So and so is it hard to follow a pastor younger than you?
No.
Well, good.
Not for me.
That's good. So why is that?
Well, I guess I have always been delighted to receive the truth
Yeah.
from the pulpit, from whoever the pastor's been.
Yeah.
I've been told that I've listened to bad pastors, had bad sermons.
Yeah.
But somehow I believe God could still use his word to reach into my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it didn't matter the age. I haven't had a lot of younger pastors, and now a little easier, and I'm getting older.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I've always been young in the church because of my call. I accepted a call at 17, and so from 17 and on, I've been preaching. And when I was 26, I was youth pastor at 21. I had to take a break for a little while from ministry, and had to wait for things to work out. So I was 26 and trying to get back into it, and it was hard. It was hard to get back into church as a leader, and it's funny for some of the reasons why. Like, people would look at me, and because I was 6'4" and skinny and looked really young, that people wouldn't even give me a chance just by how I looked, and they would say he's too young. And so it was hard. I was like, why is that even a problem? I'd rather it be, we prayed and we don't feel you're called to be here. I can accept that. But when I hear he's too young, I mean, really? that's the opinion of me. And so as I get older now, so now I'm 46, I try to the best I can to help young guys around me. When I see them, I try to encourage them. Eventually at our church, I hope to have do like internships for pastors that are like Mount Vernon, young kids, like come spend the summer with us and help them train them and help them see the church world as a leader, because you really don't see that in college. You don't get to experience the other side. You don't know what you're getting into. I had no idea what it meant to be a pastor at 17. All the way through college, I had no idea what that meant, because all you see is the Sunday. When you accept the call, that's all you see is what you see on Sunday. You don't know how it affects your life through and through, but that's just, no one knows, right? That's just part of it. But it was just hard. So it's funny how I got completely gray, right? I started getting gray at 20. And so by 30, when I got my first church, I was salt and pepper, so God's laughing at me and saying, well, they think you're too young. I'll make you look I'm gonna make you look older. For me, my first couple of churches I pastored, everybody was older than me. Like my family was the young family. Like that was it. My kids was the kids in the church, and but the churches I never felt that, like this question. Like when they let me in, I never felt, oh, he's young, we can't listen to him. You know, I never had that. But this question is more is leading up to it. Will you give him a chance? Will you give that person a chance? Because when you're young, and I'm so thankful. Like I'm thankful for all the no's, because the yes that I got, this small church was so good to me. I mean, because I had no idea what to do. I had no idea how to run a board. I mean, nothing. All I ever did was preach. So I didn't know anything. And man, they just graciously, I was just honest, say, look, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. And they graciously helped me walk through all that, learn that. And so today, everything I do behind the scenes leadership is what they taught me 15 years ago. And so I'm thankful for that they understood their role and helped me figure it out. Because the other stuff I could figure out, but just the management of the church and how to delegate all the stuff they helped me do, and that's what we should do for the young pastors. Is all right. We got to help them, you know, and that's what they did, and so I'm thankful for that. But I remember it's a funny thing about it that I had no idea what it meant. At 17 to accept the call. And yesterday, as I was getting ready for this, you know, I thought about back then, and like I know what Timothy said, and First Timothy said, "Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity." So that's how I fought against, you're too young. Like, well, they're wrong. This verse says they're wrong, right? He says, be an example, live, love, live your faith out, be holy, and I'll work it out. But don't let them, the carnal side of them, define you, destroy your ministry. Because Timothy was young. Paul was getting Timothy ready. And he's like, you're young, so here it comes. And so yesterday in my office, I had a moment. Uh-oh. So my mom got me this Bible, and I haven't used it since. I used it my freshman year. My mom got me another Bible, and it was a study Bible, so I used it from that on out. So this Bible is like, it's a marker in time of my teenage years, and then when I accept my call. And but when I accepted my call, I come home from retreat and just dove in here. So everything you see highlighted in here is when I was 17. And like stuff from Timothy is highlighted, like you're young in the faith, but it's okay, you know. And so I was just seeing all that. But what got me yesterday was I wrote down in here when I got saved, October 13th, 1995, and so I knew the years. I usually knew the date for my salvation. I just didn't pay attention to much of the day I got called. I just knew 97. I knew when it was. I knew the event, but it was March 8th.
Wow.
29 years. Just had an anniversary. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just caught me off guard yesterday. I was like, oh, man. Because I remember the time, I remember the day, I remember everything that happened. And driving to the church this morning to meet you, and I was thinking about it. I was like, it was March 8th, because there was a girl I was dating, and we met at the Super Bowl in February, and I got called in March. And so I said, yeah, that's right. like all the dots. Because I think I remember I had to, a few years ago, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago or longer, I had to go back and figure out what the date was. So it's crazy how you can look at the calendar, pull up a calendar from 97, so I figured it out when it was. And I just caught me off guard. Mm-hmm. Because being a pastor is not what you want to be growing up when you're growing up. You know, it's the last thing you think about. And so it's just, it's just a matter of, I've embraced it, you know, and I enjoy it, being what the Lord asked me to be. And like I said, this is going to be a hard one for me. Because it's tears of joy.
I imagine remembering God's faithfulness through those 29 years.
Yeah.
I remember you telling the story about when you were called. Mm-hmm. I don't remember if you told it from the pulpit or told me, but you were talking about the duration of time that you spent before the Lord, that you had made up your mind when you went down to the altar.
Yeah, I talked about a couple podcasts ago, what kept me in church was basketball. And we played church ball from 13 all the way through high school. We had the same team. And we never got to the championship game all them years. And my 11th grade year, I played on a traveling team, so I didn't play on the church like ball team. But I played for a traveling team. We traveled all over Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and played all these private schools. And I got really good that year. I had a coach that just poured into me, so it was really good. And I got a couple offers to go to private schools and play. And my senior year, because I was coming up with my senior year, and my senior year, the traveling team didn't happen. Something happened, and my high school, I talked to my high school coach I was going to, and a lot of politics. I asked him if I should even try out to have a chance of making the team, and he said no. And so I went back to my church ball team, and I come back, and I was good. And so we were good then. And so that senior year, we're dominating everybody, and we get to the playoffs, and we win the first couple of games. And leading up to that, it's my senior year, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And I was thinking about counseling, Christian counseling. That's what I was thinking about. I was doing a lot of that in youth group, counseling kids and talking to them. And so that's what I was trying to figure out. And so youth retreat was coming up, And so I had in my mind, I'm going to go youth retreat to figure it out. Like, I want to come back home with what I want to do. And I was not thinking about being a pastor. I was like, Lord, I just want you to show me what to do. I tell people, be a coal miner. I'm like, what? I just need some guidance because I struggle learning and taking tests. And so, like, I need direction here. And so we have this tournament. We win the first 2 games. And for some reason, they come up to us after the second game that we won, and they said, we got to take a week off, and then the next week we're going to have the tournament, the championship game. And I looked at the coach right then and there and the team, and I said, guys, sorry, but I'm not going to be there. And they're like, what? What do you mean? I said, we got retreat that weekend, and I'm not missing. And he's mad at me. My dad's mad at me. Everybody's mad. Because, like, they've been living this goal since we was 13 to win this championship church ball tournament. And I was like, I can't. And I remember Dad's like, I'll bring you back Saturday. You know, I'll bring you. You can play, then I'll bring you up. I said, no, I'm going Friday. I'm just not going. And one of the boys on the team was a PK, the preacher's son. Well, because I said I wasn't going, said I was going, he was going. So 2 of us now was not going to the game. And so we didn't go. And they lost the game. But I was at the retreat, and Friday was normal, but Saturday, I knew Saturday night. I said, and the reason I believed in the retreats is because I got saved at a retreat, so I knew what it meant to get away, and I was like, I'm going here with a mission. And so I said, Saturday night when they do the altar call, Lord, I'm coming up to pray, and I'm not leaving until you tell me. If I got to stay all night at the altar, I'm staying until you tell me. And nobody knew. This is just between me and the Lord. Nobody knew what I was doing. And so I come up to the altar, and I was up there about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, the whole youth group came up and got on top of me. But I wouldn't say nothing to anybody. And everybody's in me, what's wrong, Bob? What's going on? What's going on? And so they're all up there the whole 30 minutes with me. I was up there 30 minutes at least. And I'm just sitting there praying and waiting. I mean, just sitting there really just trying to wait on him. And it wasn't an audible voice, but it was just spirit through and through. So I know. And what it was he just said, preach my word. And I said, all right. Got up. Just stood up, hugged a couple people, and went to my seat. And they're all like, what's going on? And then they sang some more songs. And then a few minutes later, people asked me on testimonies, and I stood up and I said, Lord just called me to preach. And that's what I'm going to do. But man, I was 17. Young kid. I was a good kid, but I just loved having fun. I'm not much different now, but just like, just young. And so people like, yeah, all right, yeah, he's gonna be a preacher, all right, you know. But I recently got to go home to that church this past summer and got to preach. And I haven't preached there since I was 17, 18 years old. And so I got to come back, and some people were still there from that time. And they got to see.
For God's call.
And so it was awesome to see. It was awesome to be part of that moment this summer. Because I just wanted to go back to say thank you for supporting me and not telling me no. Like, they supported me going to college and doing it. And so it's been interesting. But that moment was so strong in me that there was no denying it. That I've had to. Like, that's why I've had to keep fighting. Sometimes I had to stand up and say, I could be teaching at Golf Tech right now and own a store, run a franchise, and be doing it because I loved it. But it wasn't it was a part of my life that helped me do ministry. It wasn't my, God, here's how I want to use you, Bob. I want you to use you through Golf Tech. No, I use Golf Tech to help you pastor a church. And so that's what's cool. Like, I could tell, like, if I was making a call, here's what I'd do. But I don't get to make that call. I don't have to make that call. He's called me here, and I'm good with being here. So it's people like you in my life and others that pour into me and encourage me, keeps me going. Because somebody else is going to need it. Our lives affect each other. And so all these churches embracing my youngness has helped people because it's helped me minister. But now as I get older, I get to do the same thing to young guys coming up, my son and different people, and give them opportunities because I've been there. And be willing to have conversations with them and say, hey, this is good. Stay away from this. And so it's interesting being a young leader in the church, and especially when you don't know anything, right? All you know is Jesus loves you, right? All I know is Jesus wants us to witness to people, and really that hasn't changed much since I was 17 to now. It's the same message in me. It's just the Lord's fine-tuned it, and He's made me live it. And so that's what I'm trying to make the church, live the faith. Man, I knew this episode was going to be hard. As soon as I saw that date, I was like, man, next year, 30 years. Oh, man. So, does it make you think of anything else?
Well, I've always thought about when you were called to preach, or when a man's called to preach, is he called to be an administrator too?
Yeah.
It seems like it's kind of an unfair thing the way our churches are set up in some ways that you can be the best in doing everything God called you and still struggle because you may not be an administrator. Yeah. And
it's part of understanding the callings, how the Bible classifies it. Pastors, teachers, evangelists, all that should be, every church should have all them giftings.
Right.
And everybody does their part in the church. And especially in smaller churches, you won't have that at all. So the pastor's trying to do every bit of it.
Right.
Every church is different when it comes to that. And I've gotten better in the administration part, but I know I'm not the greatest. I'm a good helper. I know I'm a great helper. It all needs direction. Do this. All right, I got it. And that's where, like we talked about in the last podcast about being uncomfortable. This church is probably the most uncomfortable I've ever been. Because the Lord's challenging me to do something I've never done, and that's take a healthy church farther. And so I see those things that's coming that is my weakness. So I got to have help. As we grow, we're going to need staff. I'm going to need a bigger circle to fully help everybody that they need, because I'm enjoying the contacts. I'm in contact with everybody in the church, But that is time consuming. And so it'd be nice to say, hey, you focus on this to help the church, because I'm used to getting the church in a good spot, and the Lord moves me on, and now I'm at a place now where like He's using me here to teach me, and so. But I'm glad we got a lot of those giftings in our church, and so I'm leaning on people. I've been leaning on people from day one, because I'm like, no, I'm not trying to take over. I'll help you. Like, if you like what you're doing, keep doing it. Like, I ain't got to worry with the music. Treasurer does a great job. So all these roles are being taken care of. So I get to pastor people, and I deal with what I got to deal with administration. Outside of that, who am I getting with today? Who am I talking to today? And so I'm thankful for that we have that. But I'm not used to it, so I'm uncomfortable. Because I just don't want to let anybody down. And so just say, all right, but the first time coming here, first time I ever had a budget meeting. Never had it before. It's like, this is new. So it's nice to be part of a place. So there's a look behind the veil of what it looked like to be a pastor and being a young pastor. But this is Pastor Unpacked.
This is Pastor Unpacked. Real talk, real faith, real growth. Let's break down life with Jesus. Come on, church, let's unpack it.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.